but ranchers lose a lot of their livestock calving to these vultures. Has there any thought been given to reimbursing these ranchers for their loss?
Thank you for your question, Congressman. At this point, the legislation does not address any type of depredation compensation program. That's certainly something the author of the bill could look at, and there are similar programs for wolf depredation and other things that have been acted into law.
So these ranchers make a living off every year from a breeding stock that keeps moving up. So I would suggest we look at something like that. If we're going to tell them they can't protect their livestock, we ought to at least try to help. What's that? Okay. All right. Ms. Chris, the great red snapper count that was done in the Gulf, do you know what year that was actually done?
In the Gulf? Yes, that just concluded, and the results of the Gulf Great Red Snapper count were integrated into management decisions this year.
Okay. Did they pull a net on that count, or did they actually count bottom fish?
It was a very comprehensive study. I can't speak to the specific methodology there, but it did reveal a great deal about the status of red snapper in the Gulf.
Okay, let me share a little bit of my sarcasm with you. I come from a private business background, and we don't make money unless we can figure out ways to save money and expand our market. Government doesn't work that way. Government doesn't care about cheap. They don't care about making a profit. They focus on trying to expand their department. So when these studies come up and you ask for another $5 million to do a study, it's in my mind, I get sarcastic, want to push back on it because you've created another problem that may or may not exist. How did we use the snapper count that we did 4 or 5 years ago, not exactly how long ago? Why did we not use it in the first 2 years? Because it was finished in the first 2 years, but we drug it out for 3 more years. We didn't use it. Why?
Thank you. I think this is a really beautiful case of how the science informed a management decision to result in an increase in the quota. The council made the decision to extend the timeline of how to use that data based on how they were analyzing that data and the need to then make decisions
We
on
issued
that.
a second set of money for that, correct?
Oh, that I will have to get back to you on.
I believe we did. So to my knowledge, these tests were ran by pulling nets over the top of reefs. These are reef fish. They're not going to be floating around, getting exposed very, very much. The University of South Alabama did their test. The Alabama Department of Wildlife put in their own software. I know Louisiana, Garrett's here. Louisiana has their own. So we did our own count too, and we came up with much more, or higher count, a better count than what you've got. But the two have come together, and yet you've cut back on the fish. So we're proving we've got more. You're using your numbers. You think we would match somewhere in between, but in reality, you cut back even further.
Hello, friends. Another batch of stimulus checks will be arriving for many Americans. Eligible households can receive a one-time direct payment totaling thousands of dollars. Unused crisis funds from Biden's relief package are now being put towards these new relief programs. And my dear friends, you may be eligible for some of these payments. So please make sure that you watch until the end of this video. Also, to say thank you for being part of this community. Every Friday, I will be announcing winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, dearest friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. Oregon residents are set to receive their largest kicker tax rebate yet, which is worth an average of $980 per resident. The rebate, totaling $5.6 billion, is over 3 times larger than the previous record for the largest rebate. According to the Washington Examiner, the hefty amount came to the surprise of most economic analysts, who had greatly underestimated Oregon's economic rebound after the crisis. The Oregon Surplus Credit, which is more commonly known as a kicker, is used to return surplus tax revenue to taxpayers. It is only available in odd-numbered years. The Oregon legislature passed a 2% kicker law in 1979. It is named due to the requirement that the rebate must be given to taxpayers if revenue exceeds 2% of what had been in the forecast. The kicker can be claimed on a personal income tax, composite, or fiduciary return for the year that's in question. Taxpayers can also choose to donate their kicker to public education instead. They can check the box on their tax return to donate the funds to the Oregon State School Fund for K-12 public education. Also, Georgia farm and food workers may receive a one-time $600 direct payment in federal relief from the United States Department of Agriculture until October of next year. The payments stem from a USDA initiative that was announced in 2021 called the Farm and Food Workers Relief. The goal is to funnel $670 million to these workers across the nation by October 2024. Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack said, "Farm workers, meatpacking workers, and grocery workers overcame unprecedented challenges and took on significant personal risks to ensure Americans could feed and sustain their families throughout the crisis." According to Secretary Vilsack, they deserve recognition for their resilience and financial support for their efforts to meet personal and family needs while continuing to provide essential services. The USDA partnered with several nonprofits and one tribal entity to extend federal relief across the country. The agency is now working to reach Georgia farm workers and alert them of the payments. The center received $36 million in federal funds to distribute to workers. Earlier this month, the New York Federal Reserve Bank reported the collective debt of U.S. credit card holders, which had surpassed the $1 trillion mark for the first time ever, after rising nearly 5% in the second quarter of this year. Along with reporting the new debt benchmark, New York Fed data also reflected credit card delinquency rates, which had been running at near historic lows throughout the crisis. We're now registering at 7.2% at the end of June. The collective debt of United States credit card holders saw a precipitous drop during the crisis, declining from $927 billion in the fourth quarter of 2019 to $770 billion in the first quarter of 2021. But that debt balance has been on the rise since then. A LendingTree report, which was released last month, noted the average annual interest rate for all current credit cards stand at 20.86%. That is a record. And the average rate for new credit card offers is even much higher. The required payments for those with outstanding federal student loan debt is looming in October, and interest on those loans will start accumulating again beginning this Friday. This could lead to heightened challenges for those already juggling household budgets to cover credit card and other consumer debt. Following the latest household debt report from the New York Fed, Matt Schultz with LendingTree said that those facing bigger monthly credit card payments, who will also have to re-engage with student loan repayment plans later this year, may find themselves facing some economic distress. According to the new report, collective outstanding U.S. student loan debt stands at $1.57 trillion. Thank you so very, very much, friends, for being part of this community. I want you all to know that I greatly appreciate every single one of you. Every Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the weekly giveaways.